Hello? Am I back? OBS says yes, but who knows? Hello? Still loading. Honk. Hopefully it's coming back soon. Hello, 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 hello. I got it. Oh, what are you doing, Lily? Also, let me test something. I'm here. Hey, let me test something real quick as well. Is the bot working again for shout outs? Nope. Nope, it is not. Nope. It is not. I don't know why. This bot is stupid. No. Yeah, it's not working. It's so dumb. What if I do it to myself here? Look at that. And nope. What was being asked? Welcome back, Slothy. I'm back. Yeah. I hate the fact that the shout out bot doesn't work. Like, yeah, the messages in chat and all, but I meant like the clip showing up on screen. The bot hasn't been really working much recently. I've seen another streamer streams it's not working well either, so unfortunate. Glad you guys are back. Hope everything is working now. So yeah, Slothy, I thought I already have it. At this point, I wouldn't be surprised if I had my own category in your budget, because like, damn, you spend too much money on me. No, but yeah, you're fine. I appreciate all the money. Didn't make a category out of denial. It's never too late. You know. Let me see something real quick. Mm. Oh my god. Ah, what the fuck is going on? Just trying to do something here. Let's see if this works now. I can't keyboard right now. What the fuck is wrong with me? Okay. Even with the other bot that I tried out here right now, it's still not doing it. So it might be an issue with the Twitch API. It can't pull clips out of it, I guess. Okay. Well, I guess it's it's just not working right now. Mm. Hmm. I think I see what the issue is. Ever since they changed the way they sort clips and stuff, the bots may be busted because they cannot access it the same way as before. Oh well. Well. Unfortunate. But okay. Before I continue with the book now though, is the stream stable again? Am I still lagging? Is everything fine? Hello? Stable? Yes. Okay. Okay. So we can continue with the book. Good to know. Thank you guys for letting me know. He had run out of funds before construction could start. I already had all. No, wait, we already read that. But now was a home to a teeming marketplace of wooden stalls and rolling carts that appeared every morning and vanished every evening when the stopwatch patrolled. It was where refugees and visitors, new immigrants and old expatriates came to find familiar faces and customs. A few cafes nearby served pelmeni and salted herring, and old men sat at the outdoor tables, sipping kvass and reading their Rafgan news sheets, weeks out of date. When Nina had first been stranded in Caterham, she thought of seeking sanctuary at the embassy, but she was afraid that she'd be sent home, back home to where she was supposed to be serving in the Second Army. How could she possibly explain that she couldn't return to Rafka until she'd freed a Fjordandre Skelle she'd helped to imprison on false charges? After that, she'd rarely visited Little Rafka. It was just too painful to walk those streets that were so much like home and so unlike home at the same time. Still, when she glimpsed the golden lance of double eagle flying on its pale blue field, her heart leapt like a horse clearing a jump. The market reminded her of Oskervo, the bustling town that had served as capital to West Ravka before the unification. The embroidered shawls and gleaming samovars, the scent of fresh lamb being cooked on a spit, woven wool hats, and battered tin icons glinting in the early morning sun. If she ignored the narrow church buildings with their gabled roofs, she could almost pretend she was home. A dangerous illusion. There was no safety to be had on those streets. Homesick as she was, as Nina and Matthias passed peddlers and merchants, some small, shameful thing inside her cringed at how old-fashioned everything looked. Even the people, clinging to traditional Ravkan dress, looked like relics of another time. Objects salvaged from the pages of a folktale. Had the year she'd spent in Catadam done this to her? Somehow changed the way she saw her own people and customs? She didn't want to believe that. As Nina emerged from her thoughts, she realized that she and Matthias were attracting some very unfriendly glances. No doubt there was quite a bit of prejudice against Fjordans among Ravkans, but this was something different. And then she glanced up at Matthias and sighed. His expression was troubled. And when he looked troubled, he looked terrifying. The fact that he was built like the tank they'd driven out of the ice court didn't help either. Matthias, she murmured in Fjordan, giving his arm what she hoped was a friendly, sibling-like nudge. Must you glower at everything? I'm not glowering. With Fjordan's in the Ravkan sector, we already stand out. Let's not give everyone another reason to think you're about to lay siege to the market. We need to get this task done without drawing unwanted attention. Think of yourself as a spy. His frown deepened. Such work is beneath an honest soldier. Now pretend to be an actor. He made a disgusted sound. Have you ever been to the theater? Have you ever even been to the theater? There are plays every season in Deerholm. Let me guess. Sober affairs that last several hours and tell epic tales of the heroes of yore. They're actually very entertaining, but I've never seen an actor who knows how to properly hold his sword. Nina snorted a laugh. What? Matthias said, perplexed. Nothing, really. Nothing. She'd educate Matthias on innuendo another time. Or maybe she wouldn't. It was so much more fun when he was completely oblivious. Again, we're going back to men being oblivious. The question is, though, does he know how to properly hold his sword, I guess? What are those? He asked, gesturing to one of the vendor's blankets. It was laden with tiny rows of what looked like sticks and chips of rocks. Ignoring the comment. It's the skill people need to learn, you know? Bones, she said. Fingers, knuckles, vertebrae, broken bits of wrist. Saint's bones. For protection. Matthias recoiled. Ravkans carry around human bones. You talk to trees. It's superstition. Are they really meant to come from saints? She shrugged. Their bones sifted from graveyards and battlegrounds. There are plenty of those in Ravka. If people want to believe they're carrying Sankt Egmund's elbow or Sancta Alina's pinky toe, who decided Alina Starkov was a saint anyway? Matthias said grumpily. She was a powerful Grisha. They're not the same thing. Are you sure? Nina said, feeling her temper rise. It was one thing for her to think Ravkan customs seemed backward. Quite another to have Matthias questioning them. I've seen the ice court for myself now, Matthias. It is easier to believe that place was fashioned by the hand of a god or by Grisha with gifts your people didn't understand. That's completely different. Alina Starkov was our age when she was martyred. She was just a girl, and she sacrificed herself to save Ravka and destroy the Shadowfold. There are people in your country who worship her as a saint too. Matthias frowned. It's not. If you say natural, I'll give you giant buck teeth. Can you actually do that? I could certainly try. She wasn't being fair. Ravka was home to her. It was still enemy territory to Matthias. He might have found a way to accept her, but asking him to accept an entire nation and its culture was going to take a lot of work. Maybe I should have come alone. You could go wait by the boat. He stiffened. Absolutely not. You have no idea what might be waiting for you. The shoe may have already gotten to your friends. Nina did not want to think about that. Then you need to calm down and try to look friendly. Matthias shook out his arms and relaxed his features. Friendly, not sleepy, just pretend everyone you meet is a kitten you're trying to not to scare. Matthias looked positively affronted. Animals love me. Fine, pretend they're toddlers. Shy toddlers who will wet themselves if you're not nice. Very well. I'll try. As they approached the next stall, the old woman tending to it looked up at Matthias with suspicious eyes. Nina nodding encouragingly at him. Matthias smiled broadly and boomed in a sing-song voice. Hello, little friend. The woman went from wary to baffled. Nina decided to call it an improvement. And how are you today? Matthias asked. Pardon? The woman said. Oh, nothing, Nina said in Ravkan. You were saying how beautifully the Ravkan women are. How beautifully the Ravkan women age. The woman gave a gap-toothed grin and ran her eyes up and down Matthias in an appraising fashion. Always had a taste for Fjordans. Ask him if he wants to play princess and barbarian, she said with a cackle. What the? Hey, yo! Hey, yo! And Matthias is just like, what did she say? Said Matthias? Asked Matthias. Nina coughed and took his arm, leading him away. She said you're a very nice fellow and a credit to the Fjordan race. Oh, look, Bleeny. I haven't had a proper Bleeny in forever. Yikes. The word she used. Babink, he said. You've called me that before. What does it mean? Nina directed her attention to a stack of paper-thin buttered pancakes. It means sweetie pie, Nina. Barbarian. I was just asking. There's no need to name call. No, Babink means barbarian. Matthias's gaze snapped back to the old woman. his glower returning to full force. Nina grabbed his arm. It was like trying to hold on to a boulder. She wasn't insulting you, I swear. Barbarian isn't an insult, he asked, voice rising. No, well, yes, but not in this context. She wanted to know if you'd like to play Princess and Barbarian. It's a game. Not exactly. Then what is it? Okay, you know, I might be oblivious sometimes, but like, come on. That thing is so fucking obvious. Matthias. Nah. Open your fucking eyes, bro. That woman wanted to be your little princess. Not like, I might be clueless sometimes, but I ain't that clueless. I mean, yeah, but that doesn't mean other women won't have eyes for him. And, you know, at least some of those hints are very obvious and he could, like, pick up on it, but there. Nina couldn't believe she was actually going to attempt to explain this. As they continued up the street, she said, in Ravka, a popular series of stories about, a brave Fjordan warrior. Really? Matthias asked. He's the hero. In a manner of speaking, he kidnaps a Ravkan princess. That would never happen. In the story it does, and she cleared her throat, and they spent a long time getting to know each other in his cave. He lives in a cave. It's a very nice cave. Furs, jeweled cups, mead. Ah, he said approvingly. A treasure hoard like Ansgard the Mighty. They become allies then. Nina picked up a pair of embroidered gloves from another stand. We should read that book next. The Princess and the Barbarian. I'm sure I know which role you want to take over for that one. Nina picked up a pair of embroidered gloves from another stand. Do you like these? Maybe we could get Cass to wear something with flowers. Liven up his look. Dummy mommy debut on Oh, so you okay. I thought you were trying to go for the other role, but you can try it out, sure. We'll see how well you succeed in it. How does the story end? Do they fight battles? Nina tossed the gloves back on the pile in defeat. They get to know each other intimately. Matthias's jaw dropped. In the cave? You see, he's very brooding, very manly. Nina hurried on. But he falls in love with the Ravkan princess that allows her to civilize him. To civilize him? Yes, but that's not until the third book. There are 3. Matthias, you need to sit down. This culture is disgusting. The idea that a Ravkan could civilize a Fjordan. Calm down, Matthias. Perhaps I'll write a story about insatiable Ravkans who like to get drunk and take their clothes off and make unseemly advances toward hapless Fjordans. Yeah, I'm not a fan of that, to be fair. But you know, it ain't my decision. sounds like a party. Matthias shook his head, but she could see a smile tugging at his lips. She decided to push the advantage. We could play, she murmured, quietly enough so that no one around could hear them. We most certainly could not. At one point, he bathes her. Matthias' steps faltered. Why would he? She's tied up, so she has to. He has to. Be silent. Already giving orders. That's very barbarian of you. Oh, we could mix it up. I'll be the barbarian, and you be the princess. But you have to do a lot more sighing and trembling and biting your lip. How about I bite your lip? Now you're getting the hang of it, Halvar. You're trying to distract me. I am, and it's working. We haven't so much as glared at anyone for almost 2 blocks. And look, we're here. Damn, Nina. Damn, Nina. God damn. Now what? Matthias asked, scanning the crowd. They'd arrived at a somewhat ramshackle-looking tavern. A man stood out front with a wheeled cart. Selling the usual icons and small statues of Sancta Alina rendered in the new style. Alina was fist raised. And culture and approving his mood. Nina is too powerful. Nina has so much control over him, but you know, I don't blame the man. I've been in that position before. Alina was fist raised, rifle in hand, the crushed bodies of winged Volcra beneath her boots. An inscription at the statue's base read, Rebedva Volkshia, daughter of the people. Oh, really? I thought you weren't that clueless. Well, I wasn't clueless, you know, but I meant like the whole thing about somebody, you know, maybe had a bit more power over me. In that regard. I wasn't against it. It felt nice. And that person was pretty good. Can I help you? The man asked in Rafgan. Good health to young King Nikolai, Nina replied in Rafgan. Long may he reign. With a light heart, the man replied. And a heavy fist, said Nina, to complete the completing the code. And to find copies of the I mean, I'm down if you want to read them. Sure. Do you want to do the princess or the barbarian? We could read it together. Or we could switch it up. The peddler glanced over his shoulder. I'm not gonna read that on stream. You could read it on our own at some point. I wouldn't mind that, you know. Maybe even in German. You know, you gotta educate you a little bit on more German. The peddler glanced over his shoulder. Take the second table to your left as you enter. Order if you like. Someone will be with you shortly. Duolingo is inadequate. Yeah, you know, Duolingo is schlecht. It's not the best. Yeah. So who knows? One day we could just like sit down and just read 50 Shades of Grey in German so you can learn more German. Because that's the best book to learn German, obviously. All the most important words are in there. Read for the plot and language immersion. I'm sure. The tavern was cool and dark after the brightness of the plaza, and Nina had to blink to make out the interior. The floor was sprinkled with sawdust, and at a few of the small tables, people were gathered in conversation over glasses of kvass and dishes of herring. You want to be the barbarian? You can give it a shot. I wouldn't mind. 1 second. I need to drink something. You think you can do a good barbarian? I really do. I need to see that. Prove it, and then I'll know. Practice the German barbarian ways. Well, again, prove it to me, and then we'll see where we go from there. Nina and Matthias took a seat at the empty table. The tavern door slammed shut behind them. Immediately, the other customers shoved away from their tables, chairs clattering to the floor, guns pointed at Nina and Matthias. A trap. Without pausing to think, Nina and Matthias leapt to their feet and positioned themselves back to back, ready to fight. Matthias with pistol raised and Nina with hands up. From the back of the tavern, a hooded girl emerged, her collar drawn up to cover most of her face. "Come quietly," she said, golden eyes flashing in the dim light. "There's no need for a fight." "Then why all the guns?" Nina asked, stalling for time. The girl lifted her hand, and Nina felt her pulse beginning to drop. "She's a heartrender!" Nina shouted. Matthias yanked something from his pocket. Nina heard a pop and a whoosh, and a moment later the air filled with a dark red haze. Had Wyland made a dusk bomb for Matthias? It was a Druskella technique for obscuring the sight of Grisha heartrenders. In the cover of the haze, Nina flexed her fingers, hoping her power would respond. She felt nothing from the body surrounding them. No life, no movement. But from the edges of her consciousness, she sensed something else. A different kind of awareness. A pocket of cold in a deep lake. A bracing shock that seemed to wake her cells. It was familiar. She'd felt something similar when she'd brought down the guard the night they'd kidnapped Alice. But this was much stronger. That shape and texture. She let herself dive into the cold, reaching for that sense of wakefulness blindly, greedily, and arced her arms forward in a movement that was as much instinct as skill. The tavern windows crashed inward in a hail of glass. Fragments of bone shot through the air, peppering the armed men like shrapnel. The relics from the vendors' carts. Nina realized in a flash of understanding she'd somehow controlled the bones. They have reinforcements, one of the men yelled. Open fire! Nina braced for the impact of the bullets, but in the next second, she felt herself yanked off her feet. One moment, she was standing on the floor of the tavern, and the next, her back was slamming against the roof beams as she gazed down at the sawdust far below. All around her, the men who'd attacked her and Matthias hung aloft, also pinned to the ceiling. A young woman stood at the doorway to the kitchen, black hair shining nearly blue in the dim light. Zoya? Nina gasped as she stared down, trying to catch her breath. Zoya stepped into the light, a vision in sapphire silk, her cuffs and hem embroidered in dense whorls of silver. Her heavily lashed eyes widened. Nina? Zoya's concentration wavered, and they all dropped, foot through the air, before she tossed her hands up, and they were once more slammed against the beams. The teacher, yeah, I remember. What the fuck? Zoya stared up at Nina in wonder. You're alive, she said. Her gaze slid to Matthias, thrashing like the biggest, angriest butterfly ever pinned to a page. And you've made a new friend. And that's the end of chapter 13. What the fuck? Okay. Well, this plot is going well so far. Nina and Matthias already out of commission. Yep. Now 14. Wylan. Wylan hadn't been on a bro bot. Oh, I gotta go shower. Genshin time. Over. All right. Take care, Slothy. Get a good shower, and hope you can rest soon as well. It's getting late. I might just do like 1 or 2 more chapters and then Genshin. I gotta do some Genshin. All right. Wylan hadn't been on a bro boat of this size since he tried to leave the city. It's getting late. Yeah, I mean, it is already like 5:30 for me, so again, we're probably gonna do like 2 chapters, and then I'm gonna be doing some Genshin. The theater reset I need to do, and you know, just doing some farming. And then I might head off as well. Wylan hadn't been on a bro boat of this size since he tried to leave the city 6 months ago, and it was hard not to remember that disaster now, especially when thoughts of his father were so fresh in his mind. But this boat was considerably different from the one he tried to take that night. This bro boat ran the market line twice a day. Inbound, it would be crowded with vegetables, livestock, whatever farmers were bringing to the market squares scattered around the city. As a child, he thought everything came from Catterdom, but he'd soon learned that though just about anything could be had in the city, little of it was produced here. The city got its exotics, mangoes, dragon fruits, small fragrant pineapples from the southern colonies. For more ordinary fare, they relied on the farms that surrounded the city. Jesper and Wylan caught an outbound boat crammed with immigrants fresh from the Catterdom harbor and laborers looking for farm work instead of the manufacturing jobs offered in the city. Unfortunately, they'd boarded far enough south that all the seats were already taken, and Jesper was looking positively sulky about it. Why can't we take the Belland line? Jesper had complained only hours before. It goes past Orlandal. The boats on the market line are filthy, and there's never any place to sit. Because you two still stand out in the Belland line. Here in Catadam, you're nothing to look at, assuming Jesper doesn't wear one of his brighter plaids. Give me one good reason other than farm work, you'd see a shoe and a Zemeni traipsing around the countryside. Wylan hadn't considered how conspicuous he might be outside the city with his new face, but he was secretly relieved Cass didn't want him on the Belland line. It might have been more comfortable, but the memories would have been too much of the day. He would finally see where his mother had been laid to rest. Jesper, Cass had said, keep your weapons hidden and your eyes open. Vanek has to have people watching all the major transportation hubs. We don't have time to fake up identification for Wylan. I get the corrosive from one of the shipyards on Imperium. Your first priority is to find a quarry and get the other mineral we need for the auric acid. You go to St. Hilda if and only if there's time. Wylan felt his chin lift. That shimmering, stubborn feeling overtaking him. I think it might actually make this my last chapter. My reading is getting really bad. So we'll see how long this is. I need to do this. I've never been to my mother's grave. I'm not leaving Kirch without saying goodbye. Trust me. You care more than she does. How can you say that? Did you remember your mother and father at all? My mother is Catadam. She birthed me in the harbor. And my father is Prophet. I honor him daily. Be back by nightfall or don't come back at all. Either of you, I need crew, not sentimental nubs. Cass handed Wylan the travel money. Make sure you buy the tickets. I don't want Jesper wandering off to take a spin at Macker's wheel. This song is getting old. Then learn a new refrain. Jesper had just shaken his head, but Wylan could tell Cass's barbs still stung. Now Wylan looked at Jesper, leaning back on the railing, eyes shut, profile turned to the weak spring sun. Don't you think we should be more cautious? Wylan asked, his own face buried in the collar of his coat. They'd barely dodged two Stoutwatch as they boarded. Priority of the city. Relax. Wylan glanced over his shoulder. I thought they might search the boat. Jesper opened one eye and said, and hold up traffic? The neck's already making trouble at the harbors. If he jams up rowboats, it'll be a riot. Why? Look around. The farms need laborers. The plants need workers. The Kirch will only abide so much inconvenience for a rich man's son, especially when there's money to be made. Wylan tried to make himself relax and unbuttoned the rough spun coat Cass had obtained for him. Where does he get all the clothes and uniforms from anyway? Does he just have a giant closet somewhere? Come here. Warily, Wylan sidled closer. Jesper reached for his collar and flipped it, giving it a tug so Wylan could twist around and make out a blue ribbon pinned there. This is how actors mark their costumes, Jesper said. This one belonged to Joseph Kickert. Oh, he's not bad. I saw him in A Madman Takes a Bride. Costumes? Jesper flipped the collar back, and as he did, his fingers brushed against the nape of Wylan's neck. Cass cut a secret entrance into the wardrobe rooms of the Statlead Opera House years ago. That's where he gets a lot of what he needs and where he stashes the rest. Means he can never be caught with a fake Stadtwatch uniform or house livery in a raid. Wyland supposed it made sense. He watched the sunlight flashing off the water for a while, and then focused on the railing and said, "Thanks for coming with me today." Kaz wasn't going to let you go by yourself. Besides, I owe you. You came with me to meet my dad at the university, and you stepped in when he started getting inquisitive. I don't like lying. Jesper turned around, balancing his elbows on the railing and gazing out at the grassy banks that sloped down the canal. So why did you do it? Wyland didn't really know why he'd made up that crazy story about luring Jesper into a bad investment. He hadn't even been totally sure what he was going to say when he opened his mouth. He just couldn't stand to see Jesper, confident, smiling Jesper, with that lost look on his face, or the terrible mix of hope and fear in calm Fahey's gaze as he waited for an answer from his son. It reminded Wyland too much of the day his own father had looked at him, back when he'd still believed Wyland could be cured or fixed. He didn't want to see the expression in Jesper's father's eyes change from worry to anguish to anger. Wyland shrugged. I'm making a habit of rescuing you for exercise. Jesper released a guffaw that had Wyland looking frantically over his shoulder again, afraid of drawing attention. Jesper's mirth was short-lived. He shifted his position at the rail, scrubbed his hand over the back of his neck, fiddled with the brim of his hat. It was always in motion, like a lanky piece of clockwork that ran on invisible energy. Except clocks were simple. Wyland could only guess at Jesper's workings. Okay, At last, Jesper said, I should have gone to see him today. Wyland knew what he was talking about Colm. And why didn't you? I have no idea what to say to him. Is the truth out of the question? Let's just say I'd rather avoid it. Wyland looked at the water. He started to think of Jesper as fearless, but maybe being brave didn't mean being unafraid. You can't run from this forever. Watch me. Another farmhouse slid by, little more than a white shape in the early morning mist. Lilies and tulips stippling the fields before it in fractured constellations. Maybe Jesper could keep running. If Cass kept coming along with miracle scores, maybe Jesper could always stay one step ahead. I wish I'd brought flowers for her, Wyland said. Something. We can pick some on the way, said Jesper, and Wyland knew he was seizing the change in subject with both hands. Do you remember her much? Wyland shook his head. I remember her curls. They were the most beautiful reddish gold. Same as yours, said Jesper. Before. Wyland felt his cheeks pink for no good reason. Jesper was just stating a fact, after all. He cleared his throat. She liked art and music. I think I remember sitting at the piano bench with her. But it might have been a nanny. Wyland shifted his shoulders. One day, she was sick and going to the country so her lungs could recover. And then, she was gone. What about the funeral? My father told me she'd been buried at the hospital, that was all. We just stopped talking about her. He said it didn't pay to dwell on the past. I don't know. I think he really loved her. They fought all the time, sometimes about me. But I remember them laughing a lot together too. I have trouble imagining your father laughing, even smiling. Unless he's rubbing his hands together and cackling over a pile of gold. He isn't evil. He tried to kill you. No, he destroyed our ship. Killing me would have been an added bonus, added benefit. That wasn't entirely true, of course. Jesper wasn't the only one trying to keep a step ahead of his demons. Oh, then you're absolutely right, said Jesper. Not evil at all. I'm sure he also has good reasons for letting you grieve for your mother. For not letting you grieve for your mother. Wylan tugged at a thread unraveling from the sleeve of his coat. It wasn't all his fault. My father seemed sad most of the time. Far away. That was around the same time he realized I wasn't what he'd hoped for. How old were you? 8, maybe. I'd gotten really good at hiding it. How? A faint smile touched Wylan's lips. He would read to me, or I'd ask one of the nannies to, and I'd memorize whatever they said. I even knew when to pause and turn the pages. How much could you remember? A lot. I sort of set the words to music in my head like songs. I still do it sometimes. I'll just claim I can't read someone's writing and get them to read the words aloud, set it all to a melody, and hold it in my head until I need it. Don't suppose you could apply that skill to card counting? Probably, but I'm not going to. Misspent gifts. You want to talk? Jesper scowled. Let's enjoy the scenery. There wasn't much to look at yet. Wylan realized how tired he felt. He wasn't used to this life of fear, moving from one moment of worry to the next. He thought about telling Jesper how bad it all how it had all started. Would it be a relief to have the whole shameful story out in the open? Maybe. But some part of him wanted Jesper and the others to keep believing that he'd left his father's house intending to set up in a barrel, that he'd chosen this life. As Wylan got older, Jan van Eyck had made it increasingly clear that there was no place for his son in his household, especially after his marriage to Alice. And he didn't seem to know what to do with Wylan. He took to making pronouncements about his son, each one more dire than the last. You can't be sent to seminary because you can't read. I can't apprentice you somewhere because you may reveal yourself to be defective. You are like food that spoils too easily. I can't put you on a shelf somewhere to keep some without making a stink. And then, 6 months ago, Wylan's father had summoned him to his office. I've secured your position at the music school in Bellend. A personal secretary has been hired on. And will meet you at the school. He will handle any mail or business beyond your capabilities. It is a ridiculous waste of both money and time, but I must accept what is possible where you are concerned. Your parents talk to you like this, it's abusive, it's not okay. Abso-fucking-lutely. Fuck Jan van Eyck, holy shit. For how long? Wylan had asked. His father shrugged. As long as it takes people to forget I had a son. Don't look at me with that wounded expression, Wylan. I'm honest, not cruel. This is the best for both of us. You'll be spared the impossible task of trying to step into the role of a merchant's son. and I'll be spared the embarrassment of watching you attempt it. Holy shit! I want to kill this guy. Murder him immediately. I treat you no more harshly than the world will. That was his father's refrain. Who else would be so frank with him? Who else loved him enough to tell him the truth? That's not love. Shut the fuck up. Wylan had happy memories of his father reading him stories. Dark tales of forests full of witches and rivers that spoke. Jan van Eyck had done his best to care for his son, and if he'd failed, then the defect lay with Wylan. His father might sound cruel, but he wasn't just protecting himself or the Van Eyck Empire. He was protecting Wylan as well. That thought process is super fucking wrong and toxic. But I understand why Wylan would think that way, considering the way he was raised, but holy fuck no. And everything he said made perfect sense. Wylan could not be trusted with a fortune because he would be too easily swindled. Wylan could not go to university because he'd be the target of mockery. This is to the best for both of us. His father's ire had been unpleasant, but it was his logic that haunted Wylan. That practical, irrefutable voice that spoke in Wylan's head whenever he thought about attempting something new or trying to learn to read again. It had hurt to be sent away, but Wylan had still been hopeful. A life in Bel End sounded magical to him. He didn't know much about it. Other than that it was the second oldest city in Kurt and located on the shores of the Droombeld River. But he'd be far away from his father's friends and business associates. Van Eyck was a common enough name, and that far from Catterdam, being a Van Eyck wouldn't mean being one of those Van Eycks. His father handed him a sealed envelope and a small stack of Kruger for travel money. These are your enrollment papers and enough money to see you to Bel End. Once you're there, have your secretary see the bursar. An account has been opened in your name. I've also arranged for chaperons to travel with you on Broboat. Wylan's cheeks had flooded red with humiliation. I can get to Bel End. You've never traveled outside Catterdam on your own, and this is not the time to start. Mixon and Prior have business to see for me in Bel End. They'll escort you there and ensure that you're successfully situated. Understood? Wylan understood. He was unfit to even board a boat out of the city by himself. Things would be different in Bel End. He packed a small suitcase with a change of clothes and a few things he could need before his trunks arrived at school, along with his favorite pieces of sheet music. If he could read letters as well as he read a tablature, he'd have no problems at all. When his father had stopped reading to him, music had given him new stories. Ones that unfolded from his fingers that he could write himself into every played note. He tucked his flute into his satchel in case he wanted to practice on the trip. His goodbye to Alice had been brief and awkward. She was a nice girl, but that was the whole problem. She was only a few years older than Wylan. He wasn't sure how his father could walk down the street beside her without shame. But Alice didn't seem to mind. Maybe because around her, his father became the man Wylan remembered from his childhood. Kind, generous, and patient. Even now, Wylan could not name the specific moment when he knew his father had given up on him. The change had been slow, Jan van Eyck's patience had worn quietly away like gold plate over cruder metal. And when it was gone, it was as if his father could become someone else entirely, had become someone else entirely. Someone with far less luster. I wanted to say goodbye and wish you well, Wylan said to Alice. She had been seated in the parlor, a terrier dozing at her feet. Are you going away? She asked, looking up from her sewing and noticing his bag. She was hemming curtains. Church women, even the wealthy ones, didn't bother with anything as frivolous as embroidery or needlepoint. Gizin was better served by tasks that benefited the household. I'll be traveling to the music school at Bell End. Oh, how wonderful! Alice had cried. I miss the country so much. You'll be so glad of the fresh air, and you're sure to make excellent friends. She set down her needle and kissed both his cheeks. Will you come back for the holidays? Perhaps, Wylan said, though he knew he wouldn't. His father wanted him to disappear, so he would disappear. We'll make gingerbread then, Alice said. You will tell me all your adventures, and soon we'll have a new friend to play with. She patted her belly with a happy smile. It had taken Wylan a moment to understand what she meant. And then he just stood there, clutching his suitcase, nodding his head, smiling mechanically as Alice talked about their holiday plans. Alice was pregnant. That was why his father was sending him away. Jan van Eyck was to have another heir, a proper heir. Wylan had become expendable. He would vanish from the city, take up occupation elsewhere. Time would pass and no one would raise a brow when Alice's child was groomed to be the head of the Van Eyck Empire. As long as it takes people to forget I had a son. That hadn't been an idle insult. Migson and Pryor arrived at 8 bells to see Wylan to the boat. No one came to say the last goodbye, and when he'd walked past his father's office, the door was closed. Wylan refused to knock and plead for a scrap of affection like Alice's terrier begging for treats. His father's men wore the dark suits favored by merchants and said little to Wylan over the walk to the dock. They purchased tickets for the Bell End line, and once they were aboard the boat, Migson had buried his head in the newspaper while Pryor leaned back on his seat, hat tilted downward, lids not quite closed. Wylan couldn't be sure if the man was sleeping or staring at him like some kind of drowsy-eyed lizard. The boat was nearly empty at that hour. People dozed in the stuffy cabin or ate whatever dinner they'd packed. Ham rolls and insulated flasks of coffee balanced on their laps. Unable to sleep, Wylan had left the heat of the cabin and walked the prow of the boat. The winter air was cold and smelled of the slaughterhouses on the outskirts of the city. It turned Wylan's stomach, but soon the lights would fade and they'd be in the open country. He was sorry they weren't traveling by day. He would have liked to see the windmills keeping watch over the fields, the sheep grazing in their pastures. He sighed, shivering in his coat, and adjusted the strap of his satchel. He should try to rest. Maybe he could wake up early and watch the sunrise. When he turned, Pryor and Migson were standing behind him. Sorry, Wylan said. And Pryor's hands were tight around his throat. Wylan gasped, or he tried to. The sound that came from him was barely a croak. He clawed at Pryor's wrists, but the man's grip was like iron, the pressure relentless. He was big enough that Wylan could feel himself being lifted slightly as Pryor pushed him against the railing. What the fuck? Okay. Yeah, and then this. That's fucking crazy, bro. That is absolutely insane. Pryor's face was dispassionate, nearly bored, and Wyland understood then that he would never reach the school in Bellend. He'd never been meant to. There was no secretary, no account in his name. No one was expecting his arrival. I want to murder him multiple times. No one's expecting his arrival. The supposed enrollment papers in his pocket might say anything at all. Wyland hadn't even bothered to try to read them. He was going to disappear. Just as his father had always wanted. And he'd hired these men to do the job. His father, who had read him to sleep at night, who'd brought him sweet mallow tea and honeycomb when he'd been sick with lung fever. As long as it takes people to forget I had a son. His father was going to erase him from the ledger, a mistaken calculation. A cost that could be expunged. The tally would be made right. Black spots filled Wyland's vision. He thought he could hear music. "You there! What's going on?" The voice seemed to come from a great distance. Pryor's grip loosened very slightly. Wyland's toes made contact with the deck of the boat. "Nothing at all," said Mixon, turning the face to the stranger. "We just caught this fellow looking through the other passenger's belongings." Wyland made a choked sound. Shall I fetch the stopwatch then? There are two officers in the cabin." We've already alerted the captain," said Mixon. "We'll be dropping him in the stopwatch post at the next stop." "Well, I'm glad you fellows were being so vigilant." The man turned to go. The boat lurched slightly. Wyland wasn't going to wait to see what happened next. He shoved against Pryor with all his might, and then, before he could lose his nerve, he dove over the side of the boat and into the murky canal. He swam with every bit of speed he could muster. He was still dizzy, and his throat ached badly. To his shock, he heard another splash and knew one of the men had dived in after him. If Wyland showed up somewhere still breathing, Mixon and Pryor wouldn't get paid. He changed his stroke, making as little noise as possible, and forced himself to think. Instead of heading straight to the side of the canal the way his freezing body longed to, he dove under a nearby market barge and came up on the other side, swimming along with it, using it as cover. The dead weight of his satchel pulled at his shoulders, but he couldn't make himself relinquish it. "My things," he thought nonsensically. "My flute." He didn't stop, not even when his breathing grew ragged and his limbs started to turn numb. He forced himself to drive onward, to put as much distance as he could between himself and his father's thugs. But eventually, his strength started to give out, and he realized he was doing more thrashing than swimming. If he didn't get to shore, he would drown. He paddled toward the shadows of a bridge and dragged himself from the canal, and then huddled, soaked and shaking in the icy cold. His bruised throat scraped at each time he swallowed, and he was terrified that every splash he heard was Pryor coming to finish the job. He needed to make some kind of plan, but it was hard to form whole thoughts. He checked his trouser pockets. He still had the Kruger his father had given him tucked away safely. Though the cash was wet through, it was perfectly good for spending. But where was Wyland supposed to go? He didn't have enough money to get out of the city, and if his father sent men looking for him, he'd be easily tracked. He needed to get somewhere safe, some place his father wouldn't think to look. His limbs felt weighted with lead, the cold giving way to fatigue. He was afraid that if he let himself close his eyes, he wouldn't have the will to open them again. In the end, he simply started walking. He wandered north through the city, away from the slaughterhouses, past a quiet residential area where lesser tradesmen lived, and then onward, the streets becoming more crooked and more narrow, until the houses seemed to crowd in on him. Despite the late hour, there were lights in every window and shop front. Music spilled out of rundown cafes, and he glimpsed bodies pressed up against each other in the alleys. "Someone dunk you, lad," called an old man with a shortage of teeth from a stoop. "I'll give him a good dunking." "I'll give him a good dunking," crowed a woman leaning on the stairs. He was in a barrel. Wyland had lived his whole life and counted him, but he'd never come here. He'd never been allowed to. He'd never wanted to. His father called it a filthy den of vice and blasphemy, and the shame of the city. Wyland knew it was a warren and dark streets and hidden passages. A place where locals donned costumes and performed unseemly acts, where foreigners crowded the thoroughfares seeking vile entertainments, where people came and went like tides. The perfect place to disappear. And it had been, until the day the first of his father's letters had arrived. Holy shit! I want to murder Jan van Eyck so hard. Holy fuck. That guy, that dude can just fucking, I don't know, rot on the Reaper's barge and get set on fire. But the chapter's not over yet. Holy shit. I've been holding in my anger. I can see why. God, there's still like over 10 pages for that chapter. But you know what? Actually, since there is this little crow symbol here, because this was all like past shit and now we're going back to the present, I think this is a good point to stop as well. Because, oh my god, I don't think I could do another 10 pages right now. Fuck Jan van Eyck so fucking hard. Holy shit. That guy does not deserve to live. Yeah, like, I mean, I was thinking the entire time, Slothy's like, didn't she say she's going to shower? Why is she still typing? I didn't say it out loud, but I was like, I was thinking that the entire time. I was like, didn't she say she's gonna shower? How is she typing? Hello? Girl, go take a shower. I love this book. I am super in love with the book. It's really, really good. Yeah, we're still going. We just finished with the book for today. You I go hydrate my whole skin. Yes. Slothy, get yourself wet in different ways now, please. There's more areas that need to be cleaned, you know, that need attention. Appreciate it though.
Oh my god!
HO 25 now, thanks to one quest. Let's go. Hell yeah. Yeah, it does. It's really nice. None of the quests are wasted. Everything just piles up. And once you unlock the next threshold, you just... everything comes in. Slothy, take care, take a good shower, get some good rest soon. I'm probably just gonna do a little bit of Genshin, and then I'm gonna go to sleep myself. Because it is 6 a.m. I'm getting tired. Appreciate the lurk, Slothy. I'm getting eepy. I need to go eep soon. But ancient time. The keepers call the Wilk. Wyvern milk, man. We love some good old wyvern milk here. 11 p.m. It is 6 a.m. Sable. It is 6 a.m. for me. Yeah, 6:18 to be exact. Exactly. Let's take this off and this off and this. And then I fucked up because I kept this open. Me no likey. I feel that. Ooh. Ooh. Double camera. Ooh. There we go. And then we this up. Perpetual darkness, right? That would be great. It's time for Genshin Impact. We need to do the theater. We need to do the new theater. I don't know how bad it will get because, oh my god, I hate the boss lineup that we have, but it has to be done for the primos, you know? Just a bit of farming and to my next weekend. I'll go sleep, good luck. Get some good rest. Without raising. Yeah, I saw that, Slothy. Let's go. Fuck yeah. I am struck. You are. Actually, don't know what the enemy lineup is for the lower difficulty. Because as we figured out for last cycle, it was different. but I hate the lineup that I have for the highest difficulty. Oh wait, I should probably take out the Chongyun because Chongyun is not built. But yeah, we have Jade Plume, Terror Shroom. Then we have the Fire Crab from Fontaine. Then it's two Fatuis, but I think they're like the local legend versions maybe, so they're like very high health. And then Swanee. Like, ugh. That lineup is gonna be fucking pain. I struggled last theater. I mean, I think for me last theater was fine because the elements were in my favor. But this one also just doesn't have the right elements for me, in my opinion. But I'm willing to give it a shot and see how far we can go with it. We definitely need to keep a cryo for the last fight. That is for sure, because Swanee wants a cryo character on the team. Good job for taking off your clothes, Slothy. Now where's the proof? I'm kidding. Unless. Unless. No. I'm joking, I'm joking. The damn dragon literally like 2 more seconds he would be dead. Yeah, no. I feel like in that cycle, I think I had access to Farina, and you know, Farina just takes care of that dragon really easily. But yeah, no, Slothy, I'm happy for you. I'm proud that you managed to take off your clothes so you can take a shower. Now all you need to do is get yourself wet as well. You had Farina? Yeah, Farina is like the best for that fight because her summons can hit the dragon's thingy even like in the sky and shit, which is nice. Right. I gotta be right back though real quick, and then we attempt the theater. All right, I'm back. Time to hit up the theater. After a character triggers a frozen reaction on opponents, create a stinging chill effect. The last 6 seconds. All cry on hydro character. Okay. Not too bad. Let's get us an electro companion, sure. Who do we get?
I will
Let's take
lead
Sarah
us to
first.
victory.
Not the character.
I promise to keep you safe.
Ooh. We're getting a good start though, at least. I think we can take an elite fight here. Okay. What could be the first team we run? Maybe something like this. God, I have not used Eula in
Illusion shattered.
like
The night is cold.
a
Don't
while.
be scared. Let's dance.
Vengeance will be mine. Shudder. Beg for mercy.
Inazuma shines eternal. My guiding stars. Hope.
Crush. Freeze to the core.
Eula does like
for
no
mercy.
damage.
Crush.
The night is cold.
There is no escape.
Torn to oblivion.
Oh, we don't have the Electro. Actually, I know we do have Electro. Like,
Let me show the
why is this Eula
Beg
not?
for mercy. Vengeance will be mine. Crush.
shine down.
Oh my god.
Beg for mercy.
I mean, I guess it worked, but oh my god, that was such a sloppy run, not gonna lie. Pick Laurent here because I don't want to waste Farina just yet. Okay. So what do we have here now? Let's just go for the next battle. Sure.
Illusion shattered. Let's dance. My guiding stars. Hope.
No turning back.
Inazuma shines eternal. Shine down.
Okay.
Not now.
Unfortunate fault.
Illusion shattered. Now you shall perish.
That was a bit of a waste.
Let the show begin. My guiding stars. Stars. Quiver.
Oh god.
Glory to the Shogun. Shine down. Inazuma shines eternal.
I guess.
Please hold for just a
Glad I
moment.
have C6 Zara, right?
There is no consideration. Which must go on. Protect us.
But like, oh my god.
Torn to oblivion. Shine down.
The damage is like non-existent, bro. What the fuck?
Please hold for just a moment. The night is cold. Cold. No turning back. Illusion shattered. Inazuma shines eternal.
Oh, that was awful. That's okay. Sure, we're gonna grab that.
The threads of your fate lie in my
I'm getting
hands.
lucky with my fucking flowers here right now as well. Yo! Hello? What is this? Okay. Time for tender chicken.
Mind the danger.
Do your worst.
Not too far now. Go!
You will lose. Shoot on sight. Loaded. You're exposed.
Oh god.
Cascade. Farewell. Tell me what you see.
Ready. Yield.
Kamisato Art. Suiyu.
Hunt them down. Into the shadows.
Okay. Not too bad. I mean, Burina or Novelette, who the fuck am I supposed to choose there, right?
I'm never late.
What do we do here now? We don't have a lot of CC with any of the characters. Oops. So... obviously, we can know where Izoe is.
Steps back. Not too far now. Go.
Fulfill our pact. You two.
Be still.
Bro, even with all these buffs, it's like after there's like no damage.
We shall.
Be free. Kamisato Ari. Suiyu. Time to say hello.
Suffer the wrath of evil. Flee.
Cascade. Not too far now.
He's lolling. He's Papa.
God, they're actually
Get him.
destroying it.
Grant us your blessing. Do your show no mercy. You two. Time to.
This is too easy. I just don't like the
Tell me what you
character
see.
lineup we're getting.
Farewell.
Ayato just doesn't really do anything, in my opinion. I'm gonna clear it probably, but not with all stars, but I don't care.
This is destiny.
We'll see how it goes, I guess.
Strike a pose. Let the world come alive. By
I don't
royal
wanna
decree.
waste.
Right now, right here, right
I don't
now.
wanna have to like
Shut
use
up.
Snowballette this early yet.
Blood of frost.
Right here, right now.
As you wish, me.
Yoo-hoo! Time to shine.
Hey Enzo, how you doing?
I'm always watching.
Right here, emerge.
I don't have a healer on the team, I just realized,
Beg for
but
mercy.
it's fine.
Let the world come alive. Freeze to the core.
Sneaky lurking, damn Enzo.
The odds are against us. Crush. Shower me with
Bro,
praise.
even with all the
Midnight
buffs.
fantastic.
Right now, right here.
You beg for mercy.
Nothing lasts forever. Right now, right here, emerge.
Let my name echo in
I am
sound.
still gonna be able to do the star here, so that's okay. Eula is... Eula is a fucking physical DPS burst nuke, but even then, I don't know, she just doesn't feel that great to play.
Where we headed this time?
I made friends on Overwatch while playing somebody other than my main. Damn, let's go, Enzo. Amazing. Crab. How do we fight the crab?
Shadows of fate.
Check this out. I got you covered.
Speed of light. Sacred name, fortune preserver. Written in the stars. Cut to the chase. Incoming. Hey!
triggering any
Don't get too
reaction because
close.
I'm not having Homa sting
Delve into
active.
destiny. Life goes on.
Oh, and he's getting his shield back.
Speed of light. Hey!
Fire it up!
Come on. I'm gonna kill him, but I'm not gonna get the star on it. That's fine though.
Let me scribe. Decided by destiny.
Supporting fire!
With sword comes shadow. Don't blink. Go. Shadows of...
Don't get too close!
Oh my god, I'm not even gonna kill it. Oh, 2 seconds left. It's still learning. Him on them. Thought I was doing really good. Aw, that's great. Fuck yeah. Okay. We're poor strangers. Oh no. Hmm.
Right now.
No, my sword!
Ring cutter.
Nowhere to hide. Incoming! Delve into destiny!
Right here. Right now. Witness the power of Goodbye.
No, my sword! Speed of light! Hey! Cut to the chase! Shadows of fate! Leave my space! Fate is upon me! This was not foretold.
Emerge. Right here. Emerge. Let me weave you a verse.
Let me scribe.
Anxiety was like, oh my god. Yeah, I can only imagine that your anxiety just went crazy on that too. Okay, we have not too many more fights. I do need to keep cryo for this one. It's fun overall. I'm glad you had fun though. Okay, so I think this one is gonna be... That's doing good on somebody other than my main. Hell yeah, you deserve it, Enzo. Okay, it's Pyro and Electro.
Strike a pose! Let the world show!
Settle down! I slipped. Be sanctified. Bow your head. An unfortunate fault.
Yoo-hoo! Let my name echo loose! Storm the front! Keep the bullet!
Silence! The tide's beckoning. Let's move.
Okay. Oh yeah, we still have Navia. We should go for leveling up Mercy. Hell yeah. Let's get
Sooner we're done,
Rebel
the
Rosaria here. And this is like I can only imagine. What could we do here?
Rise. Orders given. Orders received.
Be sanctified. Settle down. Let the mighty be humbled.
Oh god.
Here's backup.
Life goes on.
I'm still struggling though because I'm just not. Nevertheless, doesn't apply a lot of hydro, so the shields don't break as quick actually. So it's not actually the best option. So I have to kill the.
Opening box of Adepti-Trix.
I have to kill the Abyss Mages.
Look at you, Boomtail.
Settle down.
Shaken and stirred.
Oh my god, why the fuck did I just die like that? Yeah, like, bro, this is bad. Arena here would be nice to have actually, or I might have to put out my Sing Show. Yeah, this lineup is not good. I need more hydro.
Lights out. Witness the power of Gawai. By royal decree.
Loaded. Time to testify.
I summon thee. Punishment.
Let me leave you a verse. Know my sword. Rain out. Ready. Hunt them down.
No, yeah, when it comes to hydro application, Sing Show is the goal. Sing Show has the this Hydra application
No, my
in the game.
sword.
It's not about like doing Hydra damage, it's about
can't
applying
run.
the Hydra element. And even though like
Into the
Neverlet's beam
shadows.
looks like he would apply like Hydra really quick, he actually doesn't.
Rain outlines your
Xingqiu is
fate.
way
Witness the
faster in
power.
Hydra application.
Lights out. You will live. Shoot on sight. Come with me.
Okay, solitary Swanee. What do we do?
Proper send-up!
Eyes on me!
I got you covered. Check this out.
Get to work!
Lolly, eat Papa! Ha! Watch out! This one's got your name on it! Feeling lucky? Fulfill our pact! A proper send-off!
You two! Time to end!
This one's got
Yeah, I don't
your
like this fight
name on
either,
it!
OAS. I really don't.
Fellow warfare, I guess!
And I don't think this team has enough damage.
Fire it up. Supporting fire.
Power that ended hope. Show no mercy!
This one's got your name on it! Attack! That way. Umbrella warfare, I guess!
Get to work!
Check this out.
This one's got your name on it!
Suffer the wrath!
I'm not gonna get the bonus, like I'm not gonna get the star, but I might be able
Here's backup.
to clear it.
Umbrella warfare, I guess!
Maybe.
A proper send-up from Destina with love. This one's got your name on it. Umbrella warfare, I guess.
Nope. Not even.
Eyes on me! Show no mercy!
Lolling, eat pop out of my way. A proper send-up from Destina with love. Ha! This one's got your name on it.
Right, didn't crit.
Umbrella warfare, I guess. Haha!
Dead with me! Suffer the wrath!
Feeling lucky?
Didn't crit.
Haha! This one's got your name on it. Fire!
Dissipate! Power that ended Hyperdon! Fulfill our pact!
Umbrella warfare, I guess.
You two! Time I'll settle this! Dead with me!
Hey there! A proper send-up from Destina with love. Umbrella warfare, I guess.
Eyes on me! Get to work! Our bond is strong!
Feeling lucky?
Missed.
Umbrella warfare, I guess.
Suffer the wrath of Eastling!
A proper send-up.
To ashes! Out of my way! Dead with me!
Hey there! little warfare, I guess. Hiya! Watch out!
Oh, we did it. God, that was an annoying theater. It wasn't too difficult, it was just annoying. Ah. Yeah, we good, we good. That was annoying. Oh well. We did it. And boom. What kind of poses? I don't think there's any. I could probably just set those pose, but like I don't have Chiori, I don't have Baiju, I don't have Raiden, I don't have Ayato. Like none of the other poses are really worth it for me. So yeah, there we go. Theater done. How many polls do we have right now actually? Damn. Wrong button. Let me just convert them all. There we go. We have. Oop, wrong. You have 28 polls for Shenyan so far. The Shenyan funds are growing, guys. The Shenyan funds are growing.
Time to go.
All right. My Shenyan is C1. I want her C2, so.
Time to go.
It's been getting quite busy recently. Haven't you heard? There's a strange wanderer near Wolfendom. How can I help you?
Need to blow myself dry. Enjoy.
Add Astra.
No distractions. I just finished the theater.
Hard work is all there
It wasn't too bad. I only got like 5 of or like 6 out of the 10 stars, but I don't care. I don't care about the stars.
Time to go.
I got what I needed,
Add
so
Astra.
I'm happy. You know,
Thank you for complete.
I got the primos. That's all that matters. Alright, we need to do the last one here as well. Of course. You need fucking not like characters for this again. Oh, the character triggers the nice burst of all party members with max HP attack and increase by 65% and a minimum reason 500 max 3 stacks. 3 stack duration is good. Okay, 20 seconds. So This is again like if you have multiple Natlan characters, it reduces your Night Soul Burst cooldown. So the more Natlan characters you have, the faster you can trigger the Night Soul Bursts, which keeps the buffs and the stacks active. So it's a check of how many Natlan characters do you have and how many can you fit in one team. Man, I hate that. I fucking hate that. Why do they do this? Oh.
Strike a pose! Time to shine! Fulfill our pact! Deep lolling!
Be sanctified.
Let my name echo in song! Get to work! Suffer the wrath of...
The tides beckon.
Okay, 70k per Neverlet beam tick. What the fuck?
Shower new praise! Let the world come out! Fulfill our pact! You two!
Let the mighty be humble. Silence.
Oh wow. It wraps up really quick now though.
Show no mercy! Suffer the wrath of... Let my name echo in song!
The tides beckon.
19, huh. Okay.
Yoo-hoo! Time to shine! Bring it! Fulfill our pact! Deep lolling!
Be sanctified.
Strike a pose! Let the world come alive! Get to work!
There you
Suffer the
go.
wrath of...
Let the mighty be humble. Bow your head.
Yoo-hoo! You two! Time to...
Silence.
Time to shine! Show no mercy! Suffer the wrath of Easley!
Be sanctified. Settle down.
Fulfill our pact! Shower me with the... Deep lolling! Deep papa!
Silence.
Yeah, no, I can't do this.
Let the mighty
I don't
be
want to be
humble.
bothering with that right now. This event is stupid.
Let my name echo in song! Show...
It's just such a big fucking character
Suffer the
check,
wrath of-
though. I don't like that.
Bow your head. Be sanctified. down. Let the mighty be humbled.
Strike a pose. Let the world collide. Fulfill our pact. You two.
Bow your head. Be sanctified. Settle down.
Show no mercy. Bring it.
Yeah, no,
Yoo-hoo!
it's not worth it. Fair. Well, I'm not gonna even try and do it later at some point. The way is, it's not worth it. 30,000 Mora just because I don't pay. I just fail character checks. I don't give a fuck. I don't like this event anyway. Who would have thought, like, most of the people that are on the higher floors here are using Natlan characters, especially Natlan DPS. Who would have thought? There you go. Well, I got the Primos from it. That's all I care. Only this one else. No, they're all basically just like a Natlan check. This one, it's basically, do we have Kinich, Chaska, Mualani, or Mawika? Especially still Mawika and Kinich and Mualani can benefit a lot from this. This one is basically, do you have Mawika? This one's different. This one's the only one I even beat over 20. This one, considering everybody can get Bond of Life, that doesn't even matter if you have like Clorant or Alakino, but I feel like Clorant might actually be better here because she can actually receive healing. And then that is also just Natlan again. Melt is Mawika only. It's just the best character for it. You can do a Melt Alakino. Like if you're a whale or something, or have like a signature in the better set or something, like with a Melt Alakino you can do this too. Maybe with a really fucking cracked Melt Gumming too. But Mawika is just easy mode. All of these are just easy mode if you have Natlan characters. Oh no, I don't like that. Because I don't really care for most of those Natlan characters for DPS. Mualani would be the only one I would consider pulling on a rerun. Or maybe Chaska, but I don't really care for Kinich. I don't care for Mawika.
Time to go.
So other than that, that event is just a big fucking character check.
One more time.
Yeah, no, I think we're done for today. I'm gonna get off. Man. Let me see something right quick. All right. Boo, no ending. Yeah, no. I'm gonna go. I'm tired. Well, guys, I have to fucking make the YouTube channel at some point this week, hopefully, so I can do the upload the reading stuff and all. But I hope you guys have a great rest of your day, night, evening, whatever time it is, and I'll see you guys maybe tomorrow. Until then, I love you all. Bye bye.